Hey folks, it's Brian. We got to play RQG tonight, sort of ish. I have to say, thank you, Andrew. Company of the Dragon and the sixth season of Sartar, the mini games in the back and the battle system, loved it. Ran a battle with my group tonight. Started campaign 3, which I'm calling War. Starts out in 1629 in my Glorantha. With Argrath heading south to Hendriki land to save the what do they call themselves down there. Shoot. Well, save them from Herrick the Berserk and his wolf pirates, so he becomes the warlord of Kethaela. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Kethaela, maybe. Kethaela. And so had my groups do their individual fights to augment their augment their battle rolls to the success of the company fight kind of thing. And then I pulled in because I'm not looking for victory points for somebody to actually win because Argrath's going to win, right? And so I was using the victory points to give rewards, and I pulled out uh, one of the result tables from the previous experience timeline. That was Liberation Sartar. I think is the one. Was the one block that I used. Okay, get either 1, 2, or 3, or 0 rolls on this rewards table based upon your battle roll and that kind of stuff. And the battle itself, because I wasn't sure where to stop. Really, just do so many rounds because some of my people mowed through people fairly quickly. And one of them, Jarstakos, just took forever getting his guy down. In fact, it ended up the rest goes, I'm going to go help Jarstakos. Okay, and she takes him out in no time. But each of these were successful fights. They take different people out. Juchi shot, 2 guys, crits in the head and specials in the arm kind of thing, or the leg, and putting them down kind of stuff. So they got, and then Miriam sent her fetch out to do spirit combat with guys, popping them down unconscious at least, right? And then they there's some discussion beforehand, and that's not in the live play, but the live play is in the description. There's discussion because my little group, they have essentially 2 widers, right? They've got the dragon from the Dragon Thunder Hills, although they didn't cut the head off, but she surrendered, made an oath to them, I will serve you if you let me live. But she's an actual physical being, although the head is a physical thing too. And I have to admit that I was disappointed in this dragon's magic. 2 spirit magic spells and 1 room magic spell that acted like spirit magic. Just dragons are supposed to be rife with magic, right? Why is there no you know dragon magics with this dragon? Let alone you know charisma full of spirit magic kind of stuff and all those other things that could have had, right? There's even sidebar. Buddy of mine who runs the game that I play in every other weekend, and discussing dragons and dragon magic and the things we did with Runequest 3, where we took spirit magic. Dragons could use spirit magic and manipulate it with sorceress techniques. Um, so yeah, that's where you get demoralized. It goes across a kilometer. That kind of thing. That's dragon magic, right? But so I'm still trying to deal with her. But beforehand, when they were doing their hero quest and they got uh, a dragon spirit, essentially a dream dragon, but in spirit form, who attached itself to them. That was my first note. This will be a wider, right, kind of thing. And so it's acting as their wider and as a guide and as the dragon spirit in the sixth season of Sartar. What's it called? Where'd it go? What's his name? Shoot, it's right here inside the temple. Draconic path. Again, great stuff. Thank you, Andrew. Oh shoot! But there's the spirit dragon in here that becomes the whiter for the group going through the actual campaign itself. And so I kind of borrowed that idea, and so they've got this spirit dragon, and they've got an actual dream dragon in human form, but she believes that she is this goddess, although she's made this oath to do things. So I've kind of tied them all together, right? So the spirit dragon sees, hey, this is a real dream dragon. I'll just attach myself to her. She'll be my priest, and we can work together and make things happen and do great stuff and bring back the dragon age, that kind of stuff, because they're from the second age. But then, what's her connection to the rest of the party? And Dave is the one who's actually looking out for her. So Dave is essentially the priest of the group to their dual whiters, if you will, because based upon Dragon Thunder Hills, the dragon um, made itself available for any of the party to use its magic points or magic. So there's all this kind of thing, and there's some discussion actually in the live play about whiters. And one of the things that I remembered there being permanent power requirements to recharge. I was thinking it was just the magic points, right? You got to sacrifice permanent power to get magic points. Go, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. And that is wrong. That's not how it is. You just sacrifice magic points during holy days, but we got a span of different holy days that we can use and bring the dragon worship in with it, so we can get these magic points back for the dragon, the spirit dragon, fairly quickly. Actually, as the wider. Um, but it was the rune points. The rune points take permanent power to replace, and I want to say that it uses permanent power for some of the effects. And again, I don't know how I like that or not. That's something I'm going to be looking into further. But anyway, so David asked the dream dragon, the dragon spirit, to manifest and do some of his dragon stuff, right? So I'm thinking, and I know this player's thinking the same thing, that a dragon is going to have all of the dragon magics, right? I mean, you got beaked dragon newts. Yeah, beaked dragon newts have a whole list of different dragon magics, and tailed priests have another list, additional dragon magics. And you got full priests, they even have this other stuff. One of which is this fear thing that it can do. It takes 4 magic points. Um, and if the dragon dude is doing it, it takes so many strike ranks for each person is doing it too, and then it can still attack and stuff. Well, the spirit dragon's not attacking; he's just doing his thing. But I had not rolled stats for their their dragon yet, their spirit dragon yet. So I rolled, the 46 as a dream dragon, right? I only had 13 magic points, power of 13, right? So most of the time it did the whole fear thing. Everybody was making their saving throws, left, right. The first time I tried it, everybody made their saving throws. Second time I think they lost 2, and then the third time they lost 2 or 3, and that's 4, 8. That's 12 magic points. They only got 13. They can only do it 3 times. That's it. So now we're going to have to try and see how that goes, because, and I say that because the dragon, the full priest dragon newt that has that kind of dragon magic has powers in the mid 20s, right? Not 13 like a dream dragon. That really makes you kind of wonder about. Well, I guess because dragon newts become true dragons, not dream dragons. That's why there's a difference there, maybe. some more stuff I'm gonna have to play with. But anyway, so party goes south with the army. They have the little fight, we have the battle. They got the rewards, and that was the whole session really. And then we just did a little quick talk through, going, "Hey guys, this is what I have planned for next time. Um, this is sea season we just finished, so um, Earth season. Spies find out that the Emperor and Jariel, the Razoress, are in furthest, and so we got to mobilize more forces and go and attack. So we got dark season, and then storm season is when Argrath actually takes off to go north to do the fight. We get the brew coming out of Snakepipe Hollow while that's happening, and while the party is morphine towards being a part of what I have associated them with, the Egg Lord Warlocks. Doing that thing. They're not warlocks yet, right? We got some of their magic users, and we got some who are definitely fighters, and so they've got their place, but they're like lay members, for lack of a better word, of these warlocks. They're not initiates yet, kind of thing. So they're still doing their own thing, but they're learning. And one of the things about this whole learning thing that I changed or adjusted is when we do the 4 cult and or occupation skills, instead of just doing check boxes, that you've actually got people. You're part of the army. You're being trained, right? So, but it did come up during as I brought that out, that, well, what if I'm working on a skill that I can no longer get training on because it's a checkbox? I'm over 75% already. Okay, well, in that case, go ahead and make the checkbox kind of thing. We'll keep that piece going just so that you can keep doing what you want to do. And since we have actual training here, and this is the Prince of Sartar, right? And he wants his magic user guys to have power, so there's 500 lunars worth of power training. You know, the prince will either foot the bill or the priests owe him something and will do this for him, kind of stuff. So I that gave them some more options to help increase their power capabilities as we continue to. There's going to be there seems, no, there should be. I haven't actually looked at the numbers yet, but I imagine there being a huge um, spike in power, not POW, but power overall, which includes POW, within the party itself, because they're training with the army. And so we've got Earth season. We find out, hey, he's coming down, so we got mobilized armies, and we've got um, dark season and storm season is when Argrath moves north, to engage the Emperor. So that's 3 more seasons where they're doing just this training stuff, popping stuff. Now, I do have FASA put out a game back in the 80s called Behind Enemy Lines. It was World War II Army Rangers, Commando kind of stuff. That's kind of how I see the party within the Army overall, until such point that they do become illuminated, at which point they'll get sucked into the whole thing. But I still want them to be able to pull out and do special missions and kind of stuff. So I've got this scenario that I picked up that fits perfectly to some of the future planning I've got going on. There's I forgot what it's called, but um, just south of furthest and the Temple of the Rising Moon, or whatever it's called, there's this river that makes kind of an island of a place. There's that Earth Temple on there. I can't see it, but Dunstop's up there, right? That place, right? And this scenario kind of fits right into that like location. And there's some water spirits involved, and some panther people, kind of like the Telmari, but they're panthers instead. I don't know if that really fits or not, but I'll use them in my Glorantha. I have no problem with that. But there's this underlying, the people trying to rise up, but the Lunars are pushing them down and do this uprising, which of course Argrath wants to support. And later on, there's some Unar guy who becomes like the governor there, who ends up eventually helping Argrath take over. So they're like part of the seeding effort that's going to happen with the scenario I've got going on, but that's not going to happen until after this next battle is going to go on. So we'll see how that all works out. I think that's about it. 15 minutes, that's a good time. Happy gaming. Oh, and you'll notice that I'll be republishing session 66 of my Eldorath campaign because apparently I uploaded 65 twice. Doing too much at once. It's confusing. Happy gaming.